Hello folks, Dean Curry here, cooking healthy for you at Rising Star Enterprises for Well-Being. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to cook, and today we're going to cook a pork tenderloin. Look at that piece. Looks absolutely fantastic. Along with a broccoli rice. And when I say broccoli rice, there's actually not going to be any rice with it because, pork is, got some fat in it. So we're going to make a rice out of broccoli, meaning we're going to chop the broccoli up, which we already did. I'll show you. We already chopped the broccoli up into little, almost looks like rice. And in there we have a whole bunch of different things. We have kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, of course, green cabbage, and red cabbage. And see, it looks like rice. It's chopped up really thin. You could use a food processor, what I used, or you could chop it yourself if you don't have one. To start the pork tenderloin, what we're going to do is sort of fry it on top of the stove or brown it. It always comes out better that way. And then we're going to cover it in the oven. And since you cover it in the oven, you want to make sure you get it nice and charred on the outside, which we'll show you in a minute. And then we're going to take Dijon mustard. And we're going to take maple syrup, kind of put it together in a little sort of way, and we're going to add a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. It's a nice little mix. And then we're going to have our dry spices ready for the steak. After we put salt and pepper on both sides, we're basically going to have read them off to you: thyme, dry mustard, parsley, garlic, paprika, onion, oregano, and basil. And that's going to be our dry rub, and we're going to put that on afterwards. And if you notice, I put a little avocado oil, boils a little higher, little beef liquid in their stock. And what we're going to do is we're going to do salt, pepper, get it all sort of charred and brown on the side, and then we're going to add a little bit of butter, maybe a half an inch of chopped butter, and then we're going to, in fact, we'll add the butter now, and then we're going to put the syrup on the outside after we char and brown it in a dry rub. Put in the oven at 350 for a half an hour. If it's 2 pound, if it's 1 pound, if it's 2 pound, an hour, 350, and you wait till it gets to, if you want it medium, which I usually like to do it to 165. If you want it medium rare, 155, a little lower. But it's pork, you want to make sure it's cooked, so it's better to have it medium. And then you're going to cover it in the oven, and the spinach is actually quite easy. You put a little oil, avocado oil or olive oil rather, and a little garlic salt. We're going to add a little feta cheese, cheddar cheese to it, and it's a pretty healthy meal. It's pretty easy to make. And you basically put that in the oven for 10 minutes at 450, 5 minutes, swish it around, 5 more minutes, swish it around, then you have your meal. It's going to come out absolutely fantastic, and we will be back. As you can see, we're browning it on medium heat on both sides. You have a little beef stock in there, and a little butter. And the butter's right here. Let me move that butter around a little bit. And a little avocado oil and salt and pepper. And that's pretty much it. We're going to brown it on both sides and then pop it in the oven for 350 for about an hour. And we're going to put tinfoil on top of it in the oven. Yeah, so we're sort of getting a nice little char on it. It's already dispersing some liquid. You don't put that much butter in. And it's dispersing some liquid, and this will go in the oven in about 2 minutes. It's getting pretty charred up there. We're going to transfer it here, and we're going to add our spices. Put this over the top. There you go. You basically shut this off. I'm going to switch this over here. Put this over here, and we get our maple. As you can see, this maple on the top. And just use your little gloves here. The maple Dijon. Wow, that looks fantastic, doesn't it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you take your dry spices, okay, that you made. Basically put it on, it's your dry rub. Yeah, make sure you get it all the way around. Flip it, and then get the rest of your dry rub. Alright, just put it basically on top. Use your hands. You know, you got your gloves on to basically get the rest of the glove. Now that's going to be covered. Will be put in the oven at 350. It's a little over a pound, so that's a little bit more than an hour. It's basically a half an hour for every pound. Okay? So we will be back in about an hour. Okay, so while we are waiting for the, here's our whole mixture, the Brussels sprouts, the red cabbage, the spinach, and it looks like rice, right? Everything together. Kale, very healthy for you. So we're basically, let's get that out. Let's get a different spoon. We're going to grab a spoon here. And I like to add actually hummus. You can just buy store-bought hummus. This is with horseradish. I just think it gives a nice taste to it. I would probably say about 2 tablespoons. Gonna mix that all together. Should be very good. We're going to take a little bit of beef broth. All right, because there's beef broth in the thing. That's about 2 tablespoons. Not much. It's a low flavoring. You don't want to drown it. And you're going to take some paprika. All right. About 8 or 9 shakes. Half a table. I always like to say half a tablespoon, or half a teaspoon rather. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Half a teaspoon of onion powder. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of pepper. Okay. Not much, just a few dabs. And we're going to take a little bit of salt, not much, just a little bit of a dab, just for flavoring. And then we're going to add the cheese, and we'll be right back. So we're going to add hard, sharp cheddar cheese and feta cheese. So we're basically adding about 1/8 of a cup of sharp cheddar cheese. Let's see if you can see what's going on here. And about 1/8 of a cup of feta cheese. And if you can see how beautiful it comes out. Look at that color in the salad. See if I can get out of the way. Look at that color. Nice bright colors. And this basically, you put a little oil. We're going to put a little bit of olive oil this time. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, about, actually, we're going to change that to balsamic vinegar, because we put balsamic in the other thing. So it's just about a tablespoon, not even, a little less than a tablespoon. It's just to give it a little flavor, okay? Blend it in with whatever else you're doing, okay? And we're going to, you know what, we're going to add a little bit of avocado oil. I was going to put olive oil, but we put avocado oil. That's about a teaspoon, just so it doesn't stick. And then you just kind of move it around, okay? We're going to get a flat pan, and I was going to put it at 450, but since we already have the, here, we'll come up on this for a second. Since we already have the pork tenderloin already in the oven, it would probably make more sense to cook them together. So what I'm going to do is, instead of cooking it at 450 for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you know, move it around a little bit, I'm actually going to cook it at 350, because that's what the pork tenderloin is. I'll probably make it more for 20 minutes, and at 350 instead of 10 minutes at 450. You just got to improvise. You know, I don't have 2 ovens here. Okay, you have to improvise. You have to find a way to make things work, and that's that's basically what being a chef's all about. Quick note: you could basically add, when you're making the stock and you're adding beef stock, and you're putting it in the pork tenderloin, you could actually put like a tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon of and mix it together with the beef stock before you put it in, which is what I did, but I didn't show you. You don't have to, it all depends on what you like, but sometimes it sort of thickens the sauce up a little bit, which I like sort of the way it comes out, but some people are not real flour fans. You could use all-purpose flour for that, and that's pretty much what I did, and it sort of thickens it up a little, gives it a nice, you know, thickness to it, but that's your call. So this is basically the spinach, the whole thing with broccoli, and you're basically just going to spread it out, put a little oil down, spread it around, you know, with a spreader. You could just use a paper towel and kind of spread it around. And we're going to, this has the cheese in it, and we're going to put it in a little while. You don't have to cover it. I'm going to cover it for the first 5 or 10 minutes and then let it roast a little bit, sort of, so it doesn't dry out, because I'm going to have it in for 20 minutes at 350 rather than 10 minutes. And that's pretty much how it goes. Great. Yeah, so we're going to put in the, where's our tray, our little broccoli rice. And it's about 50 minutes. We're going to go about 1 hour and 5 minutes. It's about a little over a pound, I think £1.05. So we'll go, every half an hour is a pound, so we'll go a little over. And we're going to uncover the pork tenderloin in less 10 minutes as well. You want to keep it covered because you don't want it to dry out, or it could dry out. And we'll put this in at 350 for 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. Kind of move it around a little bit with a spatula, and then let it go another 10 minutes at 350. As you can see, it came out absolutely beautiful. There's your broccoli rice and your pork tenderloin. We're going to cut it up, and it's going to look absolutely fantastic. Move this back up here. There we go. And that's pretty much it. That's our pork tenderloin. Looks absolutely amazing. Look at that. Whoa. Broccoli and rice. We're going to cut that up. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I'm Dean Curry, Cooking Healthy for You, Rising Star Enterprise for Wellbeing. We're waking up, we're feeling good, we're feeling positive during these times. Cooking in our kitchen, making wonderful food, seeing wonderful people, inspiring people to live their life better, and inspiring people through food. That's what we do here. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped up. Dean Curry, Cooking Healthy for You. Tune into our YouTube channel at Rising Star Enterprises for Wellbeing. Have a great day.